In here for IrishBoxing.com with Pody McCroy. Pody, how's things going?
Yeah, mate, everything's good. Just getting on with life and enjoying it.
Okay. Um, a week for yourself for fight week as a manager. How does that differ from your fighters fight week? So obviously you being a fighter and now being a manager. What's the difference like?
Well, I'm just after having some food, so that's a big difference. Usually in fight week, the food intake is very much reduced. But listen, I got the two lads fighting on Saturday night, Owen and George. And there's still sort of like the fight week nerves, but slightly different approach. A bit more laid back. Um, I'm not like sort of ablaze that do any media stuff or nothing like that. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
What's Owen O'Neill last time failed to make weight. I just wanted to ask about the backlash and how bad it was. How did you help him get out of it and help him get back to a good place?
Yeah, well, first off, I contacted Owen and first like I seen how he was because I see then he was with us in the gym and he was only a training partner of mine. So my first the concern was it was him. I phoned him up and he seemed like he was very down. He didn't really want to speak much. Um, and like obviously I knew what happened
Mm.
previous, like with like in his personal life. So I knew there was more to the story.
Mm.
Um, so first off, it was to see if he was okay. Um, and then secondly, I asked him was he going to go to the fights, and he wasn't, and I knew that he couldn't hide, and he needed to face his prop or like he needed to face like what happened.
Mm.
Hayden was going to like prolong everything, so I drove to his house, I picked him up, and I brought him to the fights, and like after he said it's probably one of the best things that he done because
Mm.
he got the see the people that he probably didn't want to see the most.
Mm. When you did you call him before you came to his house and you just like listen him on the way? We're going to the fights. And then did you pick up a coffee now before going and talking to Kyle, or was it just straight to the fight? And
Yeah, no, I so I called him two or three times
mm,
on a day of or on the weigh-in day, and
mm,
then on the Saturday also.
mm,
Um, I drove to the fights, which isn't far from Owen's house actually,
mm,
and I phoned him and I said, Owen, I'm at the fights. I'm coming to get you. And he was like, no, mate, bro. He's like, no, I'm okay. I'm going to chill with the family. And I said, mate, this just explained this. It's probably the best thing for you.
mm.
He called me back a couple of minutes later, and I went and got him.
Okay.
We had a good night, and Connor Quinn got a good win against the Scots guy, Chris. Um,
Yeah.
so it was good to get him there. It was good to see him in back in the environment
Mm,
where he didn't want to be the most.
mm. Um, as a fighter, obviously, every fighter has down days. Did that kind of put into perspective? Obviously every fighter has down days, and it's absolutely okay to have down days, and obviously mental health, and it's something that's big in the sport of boxing. Obviously, did that bring you awareness? So it's always good to look out for your mates, if you get me.
Of course, listen, boxing as much as we're in a team, it's quite an individual sport
Mm,
because the burden it nearly falls on you solely. So I can't put myself like in his position,
mm,
and I knew and thought that he probably wasn't in a good place.
mm,
And what you need there is people around you and people to like to support you. So
mm,
I I found it I found that I needed like to be there for him and just to support him
mm,
and that was just like as a friend
mm,
and as a, a training partner. But
mm.
he's moved on from that now.
Okay,
He's
that's good.
the new team. He's a
Mm,
new manager and
mm,
myself and he's looking to kick on till hopefully a big year.
mm. How's he been? How's he been? Positively, how's he been in camp leading up to the fight?
Yeah, listen, I'm in touch with Dan Anderson every day.
Mm.
And Dan is probably what like Owen needs. But he's very hands on. Um, and he as much as he's Owen's coach, he knows Owen like better than most people.
Mm.
And he was able to like hone in to what the problems were. He was able to change what needed changed,
Mm.
and it's paying dividends.
A very game opponent for Owen this weekend. Edgar Kemsky was on the matchroom bill just this past weekend. Was in Galway then the weekend before. A very entertaining fighter. How's Owen for the game the game start of Kemsky leading up to this weekend?
Yeah, so it was only like a late change. We were meant to fight and agreed to fight Dominic Donegan,
Yeah,
but obviously like that changed. I actually watched Kemsky v Lee Reeves. I was down in Galway, or I was down in Dublin for the Jay Burns show.
yeah.
And I heard good reports about him because he had
Mm.
boxed Kelly previously,
Mm.
and I heard that was a good fight. So I know what he's about. I see that he's a bit of a character.
Mm.
He looks hard as nails. He
Yeah,
looks so
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
And it's going to be a good fight. As much as Kemsky is would be seen as a journeyman, he's a very good journeyman.
Mm.
He's exciting.
Mm.
He's wild. He's brash, and I think he's looking to make like a bit of a name himself
Mm.
in Belfast and in Ireland. So he's teamed up like with Olio, and he wants, and I think he's eager to get a win.
Since being from Belfast, obviously both yourselves, was that hard to make that connection for that fight? Was it a simple phone call, or how did that fight get arranged? Since obviously Dom pulled it.
Yeah, no, I contacted Jimmy Conlon, and he already knew like the situation with Dom, and he was already on it, and
Mm.
he sent me a message through saying this is the replacement.
Mm.
Um, and I said yes, brilliant. We checked it out. We seen that he was fighting last weekend, so it was just once he gets through that, then he's booked in, and
Mm.
no, there was no waiting about.
Mm.
Conlon Boxing, they were right on it,
Mm.
and the matchmaker, he kind of had it sorted thing within
Mm.
a few minutes.
Okay, great. The another man that you're managing, there's two of them in the stable. Jay Hughes, what's it like managing Jay Hughes?
Yeah, good. Again, my first fight involved with Gérard was at the Fela, the show that I've boxed on. And he had a good win, and then he boxed in an All-Irish fight against Rudy Farrell, which was a very good fight. It was a tough night like for both lads. I think it was a great learning fight for both, and I'm actually looking forward to Kerr and Farrell fight.
Yeah.
But George's a great lad. Again, we stay in touch regularly. I was pushing and pushing and pushing, hoping to get him on the show. And unfortunately for James Freeman, who I'm gutted about, but he got an injury which opened up a slot for us, and we were able to get on the card. And it's now about Gérard getting his first fight under Pete Taylor and trying to rebuild and look towards a big fight in the summer.
Okay. Obviously the Jay Hughes draw with Duran and the rematch. Just want to ask why it was there a rematch, and the look for the winner for foul against Kerr if it happens.
Yeah, well, there was never a rematch clause. It was just the both lads were fighting. It's very rare that anyone expects a draw out of a fight.
Yeah.
So a draw happens. And I think the most logical fight would be the winner of Kerr and Farrell. Again, I think it's a real 50-50 fight. Kerr's actually training alongside Owen. So there's a small connection there, and I'm really fond of Rudy Farrell. He's another character. So listen, if Gérard comes through and the winner of Kerr and Farrell, it happens, I'm hearing of a couple of shows in the summer, and I'm sure it's a fight that we can look like to make.
If and a great fight that is. Training with obviously you've trained with D and the two lads. Is it, if you mind me asking, is it weird and is it awkward at all? If you get me, with the two lads and just the change of management and
because they have changed coaches?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Listen, it's boxing's just a game. Like so as I say, it's as much as you have a team, it's quite individual, and you gotta find what suits you best, and that's all it is. The lads, they felt like they needed a change, and there's no awkwardness. It's they're all. I feel like all they're trying to do is trying to improve their careers, and they feel like that's the right stuff for them, and it's my job to back them and support them.
Which with yourself, Pody, there's obviously you know your last fight against Berlanga, and there's rumors that was heard about retirement. Are they true first? And if not, the plans have gone forward, and what's next for Pody McCroy?
Yeah, I think me and my team always planned to sit down after the March 30th show, so it's coming the crunch time, like the what to do. And again, I'm sitting here now, and it's I still don't have a solid decision. I boxed at I'm 18-1. I boxed at a very high level, but I've never been a full-time boxer. I'm still working, as you can see. I've been working this morning, from 6 a.m. I was straight back to work a week after my fight. So I gotta sit down and I gotta make the right decision, what's right for me and my family. Obviously the fighter in me wants to fight, but I'm a fully grown man, and I think I'm really good at making like directional decisions, and it's something. Again, my wife so she's asked me a few times, and a few people around me have asked, and I'm just not. I just don't think I'm there yet to make the decision. But there's a decision to be made, and I will have one very, very soon.
Okay.
Is a decision?
Is there a time frame on the decision, or is it just take your time and just see what happens?
Yeah, there isn't. My manager Jamie and my wife, they're telling me just like to take my time, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the guy that goes away and then it comes back. Once I'm out, I'm out, and when I'm in, I think I'm in. So I'm going to sit down very soon and have a real discussion with myself and with my team. And we'll go from there. That I've seen some reports, and I've spoke briefly like with Luke Keeler as well. We actually sparred, so I spoke to him down in Dublin. Nothing was mentioned then. Obviously, I was like pre-fight, but I think if there's any fight that makes sense for me to come back, I think that makes the most sense. I enjoy all Irish fights. I actually boxed. I've had 2, and they've been 2 of the best nights of my life. So that's the fighter of me talking. But but I gotta make the correct decision.
What with that fight with Luke Keeler? Was there talk of it at all before for that fight? Any time beforehand, or was it just a handshake?
No.
Or not even a handshake, just like maybe a few talks in between. Obviously, not as confirmed yet. But yeah.
Yeah, no, there's been talk after the Berlanga fight, like slightly about it, but again, I'm kind of like bursting it off. I'm pushing it away because I don't want to get Luke's hopes up. I don't want to get my own hopes up, because so they say the fighter and me will fight tomorrow, but what leads to that fight is a 10-week camp, is 10 away from my family again, is a reduction in my hours and work. Or if I do that, do I go full time? Again, it's talks and discussions that I need to have. But again, it's going to be very soon, because if there's going to be an event that needs to be organized, it's not just me saying last minute, oh yeah, I'm going to fight. So
yeah,
it's something that it's coming ahead, and we need to make a choice.
On that note, Pody, thank you so much again for your time. Enjoy your day and enjoy Saturday night.
All the best, mate.